Good afternoon, everybody. Hello. How are we? How are we doing today? Wednesday, the 15th of July. It's St. Swithin's Day. Oh. Well, that's good to know. Hello, Rob. It's St. Swithin's Day, and we're doing an old vintage car, which looks easier. Which is easier than it looks. I will be jumping on Discord in a second. It's alright, Jackie's just getting ready to finish her shift, and I've got to do a few sorty outy things. It's Rembrandt's birthday. He was a one. Weren't they all? It's these artists, you know what they're like. Oh yes, Mrs. Riley. What during the watercolour class tomorrow afternoon? I can't see why not. Or towards the end of it or something. Absolutely. Hiya, Christine. I thought it was something about rain and St. Swithin's Day. It's been spitting a little bit, hasn't it? But we haven't actually had rain, so that's good. Hello, Sandra. I'll just wait. Oh, 13 of you. Yeah, that's no. Are you in the class tomorrow then, Liz? Oh yes, it is. It is your initials, Anne. But I can't phone him back till 4 o'clock. Did you say that? I can phone him back at 4 or when this finishes, but I can't. I'm not stopping my class to.
No, I know. No, I didn't promise anything. I said you're busy.
No, that's fine, Liz. Actually, because I don't use Discord on a Thursday afternoon. Oh, Nick might have to sort you out, Sue, for tomorrow night. But we'll talk about it in a sec. It should just be a case of you log on to Discord and head to the Thursday evening art history group, and I'll be there waiting for you, and I can talk to you, and I can share my screen, and all that kind of stuff. So it should be fine. I will be on Discord myself shortly, but as I say, I'm not actually teaching anything as yet. I'm still waiting for you all to join. Well, I think Nick has sorted you. I think I spoke to Nick, and he's popped you in the right group. But I don't know about you, Sue. Hello, D. No, we can do a trial, Liz. That's fine. Hey, we know. Look, Morning, Kathy. How is it in Canada this morning? Sue, technology and me aren't the best of friends. I
She's
don't
far
even
from the worst.
I don't even know what day it was that it was. Oh, the acrylic class
That's
on
not
Tuesday
today. It's
afternoon.
yesterday.
No, then it wasn't that one. There was another class. What was I in the wrong group with?
Was that one on Monday or Tuesday? It's one I saw lots of people commenting.
Oh, Monday evening class. I'd set up, I was streaming live, I was waiting for my students, getting annoyed actually that it was turned 7 o'clock on Monday evening and my students were not logging in, and I thought I can't wait much longer, I'm going to have to start and hope that they'll watch later. Thankfully, Rosemary had let me know that I was streaming live, but I was in the wrong group. I was actually streaming live on the Thursday morning class. So that meant that only the people in the Thursday morning class would know it was going on, of which most of the Monday night watercolour class aren't part of that group. So I was there waiting, my students were all there waiting, but both of us, they were in the right group, I was in the wrong group. So there you go, that's technology, and I've done that twice in the last 40 sessions. I've clicked the wrong button and streamed live in a totally different group to nobody. In fact, one session I thought I'd streamed live and I was waiting for people to join, and Nick made me aware that I hadn't actually pressed live, so I wasn't live at all. I was talking to myself, waiting for people to talk back to me, and nobody could see me. So, yes, it's difficult. I'm trying my hardest. I do try my hardest. I'm very trying. Very trying. You are. Welcome, Janice. You're here. So as we know, there's no staff once Jackie leaves in a minute. She's just finishing a cup of tea that I've lovingly made because I'm nice like that. And
I'll give you your price.
no, we'll sort it out another day. Don't worry about it today.
Okay. Is
Just-
it collect them there today?
You take them today. Just make sure that Daisy's got them in time for when
Yeah,
she
that's what
needs
I'm
them.
thinking.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay, I'll pay them tomorrow.
A holiday, Heather. I've had. Well, that's true. I do feel like I'm talking to myself when we're in real life in these classes. That's very true, Sue. A holiday, Heather. I've had 3 days off, which was my first. I had 3 days off last June, and that was my first 3 days off in 10 years. I have a decennial holiday. So that's it, really. Hello, Rosemary. I will be on Discord soon. No, Liz heard me getting the biscuits the other day because she's got me on big speakers, and she said, "Is that biscuits I hear?"
Biscuits?
I know it was just those chocolate digestives you bought I was worried they were gonna go soft, so I ate them.
Oh, right, okay.
Soz.
Okay. Bye, everybody. Enjoy your class.
But it turns out, Heather, I am actually a workaholic. It's kind of an obsession. It's a passion and it's an obsession at the same time. So I get really upset if I'm not teaching or standing in an art shop. In fact, when I go on holiday, I have to go and stand in art shops, to be honest, just to feel like I'm worth something. So it is an obsession. I know, thanks, Liz. They do, they go very soft, don't they? I mean, that's why you have to eat a whole packet in one sitting, I think. Well, I wouldn't mind holidays, but I can't do more than 3 days because I get bored. I find 3 days is enough for me. But now I'm down my holiday cover. I don't have any holiday cover staff anymore. Sandra used to be my holiday cover and my Saturday cover. For the first time in 10 years since I opened this shop, last year I just started in the autumn to start taking one Saturday off a month, because I only have 2 Sundays a month off, and that's about it. And as I'm starting to get a bit older, I'm starting to feel that I need it, and I was working 72 hours a week, and I needed a holiday, or just a day off. So I'd organised it so I was having one Saturday off a month. So now I might have to start looking for a Saturday member of staff or something. I don't know. I haven't got any children I can force into child labour, so so that option's gone. So yeah, it's and I've changed the opening hours since, because I haven't got Sandra back, so I'm only open 10 till 4. But Mondays I'm working till 9, Tuesdays I work till 9, and Thursdays I work till 9 p.m. that is. So I work 6 days and 3 evenings a week. And I do enjoy it, don't get me wrong, I absolutely do love it. However, sometimes it would just be nice to sit in the garden, you know. But never mind. Right, let me jump on Discord, and then I need to get my earphone in, and then the camera back so I can monitor customers. Wednesday afternoon. There we are. Hello, Discord people. You're right. I'm here. Yeah, unfortunately, because I have to be attached by ear, I have to do all my other stuff first, and faffing about, and then attach my earpiece into this bit. So yeah, Vintage got 17 of you. Lovely to have you all with me. Not 17 of you on Discord, but 17 of you on in total. But this isn't as difficult as it potentially looks. Now these people they're on Instagram, and they're called Weaving Around, and I think they're actually fairly local to here, because they own about 7 or 8 vintage cars. I mean, not like 70s and 80s. I mean, we're looking at like the 1914, 1920s cars that they own, and they own several of them, and they're all doer-uppers, I think. But a recent photograph they posted was at Ufton Windmill, which is just near. It was in Warwickshire, South Warwickshire, Ufton Windmill. In fact, you can sort of see it on the horizon when you're driving from Warwickshire to Banbury on the M40, and we've painted it in an acrylic class before now. It's a round windmill with arches underneath, and it's called Ufton Windmill, and it's a beautiful windmill, and it's usually with what's the yellow rapeseed oil flowers around it. It's in the middle of a field. So they were driving there, so they've got to be fairly-ish local to me, within 10 or 15 miles. Oh, I could, but then Janice, if I'd got Bluetooth headphones in, what if I forget to take it out and I nip to the loo? That wouldn't be good, would it? Because you'd all hear me go to the loo. So that's not good. Well, I don't know then. I don't know how it would work with Bluetooth earpieces, because I'd have to talk into something, wouldn't I? Anyway, 17 of you, 17 for dinner. 18, welcome. Welcome. So it's a square image, but that just gives us a bit more space to play about, really. It reminds me of well, it is an old car, isn't it? I love these cars, and that Sue, as you said, it would suit me down to the ground. I would love one of those. I know, and I bet the suspension's rubbish, and that it hasn't got easy steering, has it? Oh, it is American. Yeah, it might be a French car, because yeah, it's on the other side. Did they? Even they bring English ones. are 65, 65. I like it though. It's really cool. So we're going to plan it all out, and I'm sure you would tell me, Janice. Yeah, cold in the winter as well. Yeah, I mean that's the thing with old MGs and stuff, isn't it? The suspensions were bad and a bit uncomfortable. Well, what's interesting is a friend of mine a long, long time ago, his dad used to own a car dealership, you know, like second-hand cars, and the lad, he was really young, like 19, and he could drive any of the cars, and they were all fancy cars. And I was in the back of a Porsche Boxster, and it was a bright yellow car. Everybody thought it was amazing. However, the back seat was just like a plastic shelf, and it was the most uncomfortable thing in the world that I've ever sat on. And I thought I would never spend that kind of tens of thousands of pounds on something where the back seat was basically worse than a bus. Yeah, I know. It was horrible. It was horrid. It had seatbelts, so it was possible, but it was not good. It was horrible. I did not enjoy. Right, so what I'm going to do is about 3 or 4 fingers up. I'm going to draw a horizon line with my HB, which is the equivalent of a 2B in real money. I'm doing it landscape. You could do it portrait. It just means you got to draw longer trees. Landscape. A third up. Round about a third. Well, it don't matter. It's a square image, so it doesn't matter. The Black Country has now been declared a special area, an area of special interest. No, I didn't see that, but it is, because I grew up there. So it has to be special to be able to have raised me, don't you think? Right, so we've I'm not going to put the road in, and the reason why I'm not going to put the road in is because then it will really be important where I put the car. Whereas if I put the car in, then I can fit the road around it, you know. Cultural really in the Black Country. Now I'm from there, and I can't see why it would be a special cultural interest. Culture. Yeah, history, absolutely, but really, yogurt's got more culture than the Black Country. Um, eh, well, yeah, I suppose so, in that sort of culture, but yeah. Black Country Museum, Dudley Zoo. They have. It is a lovely area. It's a lovely place. You should go. You should all go to Dudley Zoo and Castle and the Black Country Museum. Right, so what I want to do is, I don't know, if we split it up. If I'm going to draw a line down the middle. Now, this is only just to show you that I don't want the car down the middle. This is to keep my car to the left of the centre. I'll give it a Google later, Liz. I will definitely be Googling that later. So I want my car to stay to the left of that wobbly centre line. And then I know that the trees can go on the other side. Yeah. And I don't like things in the middles. There is a couple of places where Tolkien's supposed to have got his ideas from, but I think isn't Broadway Tower one of them for the tower thing? Was that one where he got his idea from? Or was it something in Birmingham? I can't remember. But possibly so, yes. Well, I had a nice Black Country day. I actually didn't teach in Black Country. I almost did, but I decided not to. So, round about 3 fingers wide. 3 fingers wide and 4 fingers high. So it straddles the horizon line. I'm drawing a box. So it's slightly longer, taller than it is wide. So, and well done to any of my Facebook friends on here that got my Black Country joke that I typed yesterday morning about the bay windows. Anybody fairly northern would probably get it because there's similar phraseology and stuff, isn't it? So 3x4, it's narrower than it is taller. Hello, Nick. Has your shed bit come yet? Ugh. Yeah, I can't blame you. I would be. It looks nothing like a car, does it, at the moment? Hopefully it might do by around 4 o'clock. But I don't want to rush you. I don't like rushing you, you know me. I do. But I'm not going to today. I'm really tired. And I wish it was that I was burning the candle at both ends. But I was working here last night till 9 o'clock. But we've got HS2 roadworks. And they're resurfacing roads and stuff right outside my house and to around the corner. So I had to have a 10-mile detour yesterday evening. I know it was 10 miles because I decided to just check because I was braced for it. It was 15 miles the night before because I didn't realise. And I think I've got that every night now. So I had to go all the way through go all through the Welsh Lane and go through Culworth and then go to the back of my house that way. Well, no, because the whole road is closed from the Hare and Hounds Junction, so I can't get to my house through Chacombe Way. I had to go down to Edgecott Lane from the back end on an evening from 8 p.m. till 6 a.m. and I had the bright lights of the JCB road workers. So I didn't need to have any lights on. My whole house glowed, and there was a constant drone as they were starting to lay the tarmac. And they still didn't do behind my house, down my lane. They because they're widening the road about 8 inches, because they can't widen it any wider for the heavy goods vehicles. So it took me a long time to get off to sleep. So I'm a bit fragile this afternoon. No, I'm not really. I'm just tired. I'm not fragile. Just tired. Right, so we've got our square, well, our sort of oblong, and as you know, I like to map it out. So let's a thumb width roughly to the right hand side, slightly below the horizon line. So I'm going to draw a rectangle. Which is also, is it a thumb width? No, it's a thumb width wide, this side, and it's going to be 2 fingers. I'm determined not to make it look like a car until I've got to. It's a bit like a Mondrian at the moment, isn't it? How old would Rembrandt have been today then, Nick? I imagine it's a lot of candles. Wow. And then a pencil width, I'm going to draw another line down here. 414. Fascinating life story, Rembrandt. But we won't go into that today. I'll save it so I can charge you for an art history lesson. Right, so round about here. So I've kind of split it into thirds. I'm going to put a rectangle in here, and then in the back a smaller rectangle slightly more to the right hand side. Isn't that a beautiful car that we've drawn? I was reading this is totally non-related, but I was reading something about Britney Spears the other day. I'm not a Britney fan, by the way, but I saw somebody talking about free Britney Spears, and I thought, oh God, has she got into prison or something? But apparently, when she had her breakdown in 2007, her father became a custodian of everything, but it was only supposed to be for a year, but he managed to get it so it's forever. And what it means is that she can't spend her own money. She can't drive a car. She can't vote. She can't use a mobile phone. She can't do anything without her father's permission. And if she does it without his permission, he can legally put her in an institute for 6 months at a time. So she's in no control over her own finances or anything, which is quite sad, because obviously she's been in show business since she was 4, and she knows no other life. And so it's kind of quite shocking that she can't. I suppose a bit like Michael Jackson was in his youth, but yeah, so she can't do anything without her father's permission, and she's 38. Yeah, well, exactly. So, I mean, he only had this temporary custodial thing, but now he's made it permanent. So she can't even hire her own lawyers. Bear in mind that in her last album was netting $138 million a year, and yet she has no control over her own finances. That's quite sad, isn't it? Just a little aside. So if you ever hear somebody talk about Free Britain, or if you see it on social media, that's what it means. It's trying to get her out of this problem that she's got. Right, so I'm going to draw slightly off centre a little doorway with a little bobble on the top. But we can tweak it. It's all going to be tweakable. Is that a word? Tweakable? It is now. It's one of my words. And then underneath that I'm going to have a little gap, and then I'm going to do a little bit of a rectangle. This is my rectangular phase of my art period, of my art career. We did a lovely acrylic painting last night. We didn't think we were going to do it, did we, Nick? But just the shadows made the picture. It was lovely. It was a rusty boat from the back, and in fact one of the acrylic classes we did, and I think we've probably done it in a drawing class, normally do it from the front, but it was from the rear end this time. Just underneath these lines here, I'm going to draw a circle, and you want it smaller than a 5p piece, each one. Or maybe a 5p piece could work. Depends how big you want the lights to look. Well, don't forget, this isn't actually going to look anything like this. This is all planning. So I'll be rubbing 90% of this out. I might keep some of it, but it's looking at relationships. It's all about relationships. Has it gone up? Which class is that in? I'm going to quickly go in and have a look now. Oh yes, nailed it. You did nail it. Ahaha. Well, the picture's nice. That's your first ever acrylic, isn't it? I've not had a chance. Oh, Amanda, I don't think you were here today. That's really lovely. Oh, Carol's is lovely. These are lovely. I haven't seen any of these yet because I was inputting paintbrushes yesterday afternoon. Oh, Robert, that's nice as well. I've just seen your swans. Mm. It was. It was a nice. It was a nice picture, wasn't it? Because it wasn't. We could concentrate more on the basic techniques of it all. Because it was very simple, but that glaze in the water really did bring them forward. It was a good one. Right. I think it's good if you can cover yourself in paint. It happens quite often in the acrylic class in the classroom, to be quite honest. It's at this point, because it's so square, I could actually turn this and put Royal Mail on and have a postman and a black and white cat in the front of this, and it would look fine. Everybody knows his bright red van. All his friends will smile as they wave to greet him. It's very different now, the Postman Pat of today compared to the Postman Pat of my youth. Oh gosh, have you not seen it? Greendale has expanded exponentially. It's now got its own railway station. Yeah, and Postman Pat doesn't work for Royal Mail anymore. I think he was sacked, to be honest, because he was a rubbish postman. He never did anything on time, and he was always making mistakes. Anyway, that aside, he now works for the Special Delivery Service, and he has a helicopter. Yes, I know, and that's where all the money's going with the Royal Mail, with all this kind of stuff. No wonder it costs a lot to post if they're giving Postman Pat a flipping helicopter. Anyway, let me just work on the wheel arch, which is no, John Cunliffe wrote Postman Pat, and John Cunliffe, as a fun fact, he also wrote Rosie and Jim. And there was an old guy in the original series called Fizgog in Rosie and Jim, and he's the guy, when it comes on, he goes, "Hello, my name's John, and I steer the boat. I like to pretend that my dolls come to life," kind of thing. That was John Cunliffe, so he starred in his own book. So yeah, John Cunliffe, and he passed away last year. He wrote Rosie and Jim, and starred in Rosie and Jim, and wrote Postman Pat. Creator of Postman Pat. What's that? I don't know, because Rosie and Jim was set around the West Midlands and Stratford upon Avon, wasn't it? So I don't know whether it was fairly local to this sort of region. But because Roger Hargreaves was the Mr. Men, wasn't he? And Sue Beresford wrote the Wombles. Gosh, look at that, my childhood. Where did she live? Wimbledon. So there's the tyre there for that one. Is that Anne on the piano, Chris? I was going to say I thought Anne was a bit more fluent. Ah, wow. I said it's a lovely bar back sheep I can hear. I did think Anne was a bit more advanced than that, but I didn't like to say. The top of this triangle, I'm just going to slope down slightly there. And I'll be softening some lines, I think. I was obsessed with the Wombles as a child. I remember doing a picture of them and sending it to Channel 4, and Sue Beresford wrote back. You can tell, so you can guess my age, because obviously Channel 4 was invented in the 80s. When was it? 1982, 83 Channel 4 came out. Early 80s, wasn't it? Just put in a little bit of a line there, because we can't really see the back wheel. We can see the back wheel arch, and then there's a little bit of a round. Oh, I should be looking at this. I need to look. I need to remember to look at the shop camera. I'm getting carried away with my car. I think Mrs. Goggins is still in the post office, Sue. Sorry, I haven't replied to you. I don't think she's retired yet, so but it's quite an easy job for a pensioner, isn't it? Really, I suppose. Being in the post office with Postman Pat. But you see far more of Postman Pat's wife and his children now. They're all redheads because Pat's a redhead. Postman Pat was always married. I always remember him talking about his wife, but you never saw her. She was called Sarah. She's called Sarah. See, I wouldn't know that because I haven't. I don't. Obviously, despite my in depth knowledge of what Greendale now looks like, I haven't. I haven't watched it properly. It's only because of my great nephews and nieces that I know a bit about it, but I haven't studied it. But yeah, Postman Pat's wife's called Sarah. Yay, was. Well, he's been snapped up now. If he wasn't, no, it's. I think it must be his helicopter and all of that. That's his appeal. Yeah. We do cover some interesting topics in these classes, don't we? Hey, I don't talk rubbish. It might, some of the things that I talk about end up on quizzes, and you'll thank me when you win some money or something. See, it's looking like a car, isn't it? Ish. Ish. We'll go with ish. Steering wheel. You know, it'll all come. It's the shading. That's what it'll be, Rosemary. It'll be the shading. I was going to say, you can't possibly make this look like an innuendo, surely, with this drawing. With each other. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you want your wheels a bit lower than your number plate, Rosemary, otherwise it won't get very far. Oh, you should never just do as I say. You should look at what I'm drawing as well, because I'm like a magician. I might distract you by talking about Postman Pat, and then I knock up a masterpiece, and because you've took your eye off the ball for 1 minute, there you go. Because you know I don't like my students doing work that's any better than me, so I have to deliberately throw in a curveball like Postman Pat just to distract you enough. Oh gosh, we've had so. By the way, all of our loose individual Pro Arty paintbrushes are now on Shop Appy. 6 hours, and I've inputted them all. They're all there. Oh, and we've had these brushes come in. They're £1 each. They're stencil brushes, but for you watercolory people, these might be good for foliage or stippling, or for acrylics. 3 different sizes. So, little stencil brushes. Stipple, stipple. You could get like curvy foliage with those. What else have we had in? I'm still trying to get to the grips with Humbrol, by the way, because our normal supplier doesn't seem to have a lot in stock, so I'm wondering if they're not going to be selling it anymore. No, wait until we've added it. It's it can't all be out of whack. There's probably only going to be one line that will be setting everything off, and often that's the case. Do make sure that your vertical lines on the vehicle are vertical, because that's something that can drastically change an image. What's that? Where have you stuck it? Oh, hang on. Let me get on here. Hang on, let me get there. Oh yeah, that's all right. Yeah, just drop the wheels a little bit, or lengthen the wheels a little bit, or make them a little bit fatter and drop them down a little bit lower. That's what it is. But if you look, from the bottom of my number plate to the bottom of my wheel is just a pencil width. Just a pencil width. So you might find so the wheels aren't much lower than the number plate, to be honest. They're not much lower at all. Well, yeah, they are lower. They've got to be lower, otherwise it wouldn't drive. I think it looks good to me, actually. Yeah, I'd definitely be happy with drawing that. Would I lie to you, Rosemary? Well, I would, but I'm not in this occasion. So we're still in the planning stage. Good. This is what I'm trying to do now, Kathy. I've had this second camera, because normally in the watercolour classes and stuff, that camera is just on the palette, which is actually quite boring. So I thought having a second angle, I set it up like this for the calligraphy class on Saturday, because I thought it would help people see how I was holding the nib, because you can't see from upright if the nib is either upright or slightly slanted. So I thought it would give a thing, but I think seeing how I'm holding the pencil or how I'm angling the lines might be useful. So thank you for that feedback, Kathy. I'm glad. Yes. Oh. Oh, really? What, even just using the same cameras? So that sounds exciting, but also sounds a little bit scary and beyond my capabilities. I like the sound of it though. Not amazing, I think that's what the issue is. So that's why I think what I might do is not do anything for the Saturday class in 2 weeks' time, and just do it like the normal way. But I have got my phone stand here, so I thought I could just stream live on Instagram while it's there, and that would test out the internet depths and stuff. So I don't know. I'm gonna see how it goes, but I might just do it on Facebook, and then that keeps it more straightforward for me. But thank you. I will have a look. Absolutely. Thank you for that. Right. So my path, I want just beyond my road, just beyond the centre, and I think that is Rosemary. Come back when you Oh, on the video. Sort of there's going to be the road. Just need to tweak that a little bit. That's better. I've drawn it too. Where's your teas made today, Rosemary? Where's your teas made? Oh. So how are you doing, Facebook people? I'm checking and there is still 17 of you here, so that is good. Please breathe. Because of it being a little bit stressful. But it's not actually stressful. I'm trying to make it not stressful, unstressful. I think it's a blue tit on a tap next week, isn't it? Is it next week? Bless you. Is it a blue tit on a tap next week? It is a blue tit on a tap. Don't be rude. Good, Liz. I am glad. I'd love one of those cars, Rob. I really would. But I wouldn't have the skills to fix it. I'd have to keep relying on the garage next door to keep jump starting. I wonder if it's one of those crank motors. You know, I'm sure it would be, wouldn't it? The ones where you put the crank in to set it off. Exciting. So then we're going to look at the trees now. Obviously mine's extended more, so I can sort of. I was thinking about UD with the breathing, and Jenny Kelly, if you're watching today, please make sure you're breathing. I'm just going to draw a line to where the bottom of my trees are. I have a customer, so I'm just going to quickly run down and see if they need any assistance, and I'll be back. So it'll give you a few minutes to catch up. I'm back. I'm sure you've missed me. I know you will have. What I'm going to do very quickly is just use an embossing tool to write a number plate letters in. I'll probably do the one that it is. There we go. So we're doing all right. Not even an hour in, and we know where we're going. The number plate, I've written what it is. It says AR hyphen 65 hyphen 65, but you could put your own initials. That's how you could sign it. You could even put your date of birth or the date 0720 or your initials. So you could write Sue SC 0720 or something like that. I don't know. So you could do what you like, really. It's your world. In terms of what? In which wheel? What, on the left hand side? It's all shadow though, isn't it? No, because it's all shadow. Apart from a few bits of lines, but I'm not going to draw that in this at this stage. That'll come in the shading stage. I've got that line there though. There is a line at the almost at the bottom of the number plate that goes straight the way across, and then there's a slight diagonal. There's a few little bits, but there's not a huge amount, because there is also two sections, two things that are almost like little fangs either side the radiator. You finished? Gosh, Chris, so speedy. You won't have done it wrong now. You won't have. Just sketch it in the shape of some trees, and I'm not going to worry if it's not exactly like those trees, because it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Oh, well, you see, if you put your name and your age, you could have, it could be your age in the future, Sue. It doesn't have to be your age now. So we've got we've kind of got everything in situ-ish. I'm going to do a little bit of a scribbly bottom on the base of these trees. Maybe there's another one there, like that. Yeah. Oh, it's coffee. It's cup of tea time. Sorry, everybody. It's 3 o'clock. So I will be stopping now, and then we can. I'm going to rub out that centre line because we don't need it. I'm just going to erase all lines that I know I don't need. There, like that. And where I've gone and drawn too many lines with my trees. That's better. Oh, we have had more of the Caran d'Ache pencil tin sets in as well. And we've had more of the yellow handled acrylic paintbrush sets in, the one with $6.99, the J-Car ones. We've got more of those arrived. We've got some nice watercolour pencil tin sets in. They're all on Shop Happy. The Pilot Parallel calligraphy italic pens are now all in stock and on Shop Happy. So got lots of stuff. Right, now I'm going to pop the kettle on. We're back in 5. didn't hear that rattle. Those speakers, Liz. Cursing me. Thankfully, Jackie's not here now. I had to have two because both fell out. I have my trusty smudgy stick. I'll put my earphones back in a second, but I didn't think you want to hear me crunching biscuits. Quite polite, you see. I mean biscuit. Oh yeah, that is nice, Liz. I really need to decrease my sugar intake at the moment. I'm eating far too much sugar. Well, yes, I am. Or they're at the dentist. Oh, hang on. My earpiece has come out. Right. Oh, that Biscoff is nice. You know, Kathy has got some that Biscoff stuff. She's got it as a sauce, and I treated everyone to a whippy ice cream from Sheila's Sweets on Saturday afternoon, and we all had some of Kathy's Biscoff sauce all over it, and it tasted absolutely amazing. I don't know. Fortunately, I don't have any allergies, so I don't care. I just have whatever, and I enjoy it very much. But I do need to having the sweet shop just over the road is not good for me. Um, but I will be topping up with sweets ready for my journey to Wales on Sunday. So, right, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to indicate some clouds with my smudgy stick, which is filthy, and I can just do a few swirly bits. Yeah, I still haven't got round to making sticky chai yet, Dee. On your recommendation as well, so I will have to try. Make the effort. Yeah, I'm doing them grey because obviously I don't want to do the sky. Because it's all going to get too dark if I'm not careful. So I'm going to start planning the background. I'm still going to do everything with my HB or 2B until we get to doing the bits that I need to make much darker. In fact, I'm going to use this while there's only a bit of tone to do the roadway, and I should really do it horizontally because it's a flat surface. And maybe, no, I'm not going to do the shadow yet because the shadow will come later, because the shadow is on the right. The sun is coming from the right hand side today. See, it's starting to take shape. I've got to catch up with Chris now. No, I'm sure it'll look lovely. Excellent. So on tomorrow morning, it's charcoal hands tomorrow morning. So if you fancy, that's yes. Well, it'll be a bit of both. We're going to aim to draw charcoal hands, but then ironically, our hands will also be charcoal hands when we finish drawing. That's very true. Gosh, can you believe it's 3:10 already? Oh, that's all right. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Does Roger know you call him your slave, Liz? Just asking. I mean, it's good. Tea and a ginger nut. Did you have to ring a bell, or does he know what time he's supposed to come and do it? So we got the background tree. Obviously, it's to set the scene now that we want, and then the but the foreground. Oh, excuse me. Oh, dear me. I've still got my Black Country pin badge on my lapel of my brown shop coat, but I had the flag outside flying away, and as Chris thought, it seems to be Black Country Day all the time. But I ought to have the flag flying all the time, really. Somebody did comment on Instagram. It was lovely to see the Black Country flag flying in Banbury. Right, so I'm going to just do a little bit. Oh, that's the wrong pencil. There we go. There is. Yeah, that's where Kathy from the cafe, her mum came from, sort of the Birmingham Black Country edge. So if you notice, I'm just doing little upward strokes because I don't want too much. Well, it's good that you've got somebody well trained, Liz. I think that's pretty impressive. Well, he's rebelling, Rosemary. That's what's happening. Maybe you need to increase his pocket money. You need to smack him on the nose with a newspaper. That should work. Right. What's that? Yes. Are you doing training? Is it inset stuff, or is it your degree stuff? It's about what? Oh, okay. So the grass now has to be darker than the path, but lighter than those background trees. We can do that, though. We can do that. I forgot I'm still in my shop coat. I'm not in my pinny today. I've normally got my art. I normally change into my art apron, but I haven't done that today. I'm still in Arkwright mode rather than Elves and the Shoemaker mode. So I'm going to go slightly lighter than the background, but a little bit heavier. And I'm going left to right with this. I'm holding my hand a little bit weirdly because I'm sitting at a funny angle for some reason. Little tufty bits. I'm hoping I'll be able to get home earlier tonight to avoid the lengthy detours that I've got when I work late. There's not much in the way of trees in the background of this bit, but you could always add them, I suppose, if you wished. But it's really all about setting the scene. Next week, because it's the blue tit on the tap, it's going to be about textures. Do you remember, like on like Tony Hart shows, there'd always be an overriding theme that he'd press the old huge computer, and a digital image would come up, and the theme of the week would be on there. So next week is going to be texture, because you've got the brick texture, the tap texture, and the feather texture. So that's the theme next week. See, I can't have any puns on my name at all. Well, I can. It's funny, I nipped to Waddington Antique Centre because I haven't been for such a long time, and I didn't buy anything. I nearly bought things. There is a vintage Basil brush hand puppet in there for £45. Now, my brother calls me Basil Brush, and I absolutely hate it, but because I don't like being called Basil, because my name is not Basil, I am not a herb. But he now just calls me Brush, which I can tolerate, because I only see him about twice a year. Yes, your learning outcome and objectives, Liz, is all about texture. I'll put it on the board, ready for the start of next lesson. Just doing some scribbly grass now. But I could call myself, I nearly, when I was going to do more calligraphy and mural art a long time ago, I was going to call myself Baz the Brush. So Baz the Brush is the Basil Brush, but then I didn't bother. Then I opened up a shop instead. I was going to do so many things. I was going to buy a big 5-bedroomed house with a converted chapel attached for £55,000 in Blanay Festiniog and do painting holidays. That would have been nice, but I hadn't even taught very many classes back then, so it would have been a big punt. And now I haven't got the money to do it. Isn't that funny? And depressing in equal measure. It is, but I was talking to somebody about this, and I read Matt Haig, who's written a lot of books and stuff about people with anxiety, because he suffered with a breakdown and stuff. And I'm very much a person that I either live in the past and berate myself for it, or I live in the future where I worry about what could happen. So I'm either worrying about what has happened or worry about what could happen. I never live in the present, and and this year during lockdown I've made a conscious decision that I've got to start living in the present. And I'll read you this little thing while we're fiddling. See if I can find it. And it's very deep, and it's easier to say it than actually do it, isn't it? If you're like me, and I know there's quite a few of you in the classes that are like me. And it says, how to be happy. Don't compare your actual self to a hypothetical self. Don't drown in a sea of what-ifs. Don't clutter your mind by imagining other versions of you in parallel universes where you made different decisions. I do that. The internet age encourages choice and comparison, but don't do this to yourself. Comparison is the thief of joy, said Theodore Roosevelt. You are you. The past is the past. The only way to make a better life is from inside the present. To focus on regret does nothing but turn that very present into another thing you will wish you did differently. Accept your own reality. Be human enough to make mistakes. Be human enough not to dread the future. Be human enough to be, well, enough. Accepting where you are in life makes it so much easier to be happy for other people without feeling terrible about yourself. And I thought that was really, really profound. And it's something that I am going to have to try and work hard on. Yes. Yeah. I am really bad at living in the past and the future. Living in the past and worrying about the future. I do it more than I care to think about, to be honest. And I've spent my whole life doing it. And it's. I'd love to. It was Matt Haig shared it, but it was in a book, and I don't know if I saw the book because I follow. You're on Instagram, aren't you, Sue? Follow Matt Haig. Matt Mattzhaig. He's an author really, but he's struggled a lot with anxiety and mental health and stuff. It's called the book is called Notes on a Nervous Planet. But it's really interesting, isn't it? And I hope I can. I'm still using this HB pencil to plot in these trees, and then we'll darken up because we've got 3:30. Yeah, we will. No, trust me, I know what I'm doing. 25 years I've been doing this. Which we all know was when I started when I was 2. Exactly. Let's stick a few branches. I don't want to do that many. There's a lot in there. So I like the texture now. So if you notice, I've got my pencil on its side, and I'm going up and down. I'm following the contours of the trees. So basically, that's really cool. And now I'll be switching up a pencil grade to start doing the darks, which does include the car, you may be pleased to know. What I want to do is I'm just going to smudge the circles of the headlights in a little swirly circle. So they're in and done. And we've got the shadows to add and all of that kind of thing. I'm getting quite hot in this jacket. I might have to take it off in a minute. That was in my mind exactly the same time, Rosemary. Da 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 boom ba da boom da 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 da. Right, let me put my penny in. Mind you, yeah, I will. Right, I can plug my ear back in now. Right, so I'm going to switch. Probably I'm going to miss the 3B and go straight to a 4B or 5B or something like that, which is the only one I haven't sharpened. And I'm going to start mapping out the darker tones. Not the very dark tones though. Because the window is going to be really dark. That back bit we don't want to put anything in because it's the sky. I apologise, I've come very close to the microphone on Facebook. Well, yeah, I know. Boylesque with me, innit? I hope you've not eaten. Well, on my Caran d'Ache ones, I'm using a 5B, which is about the same as a 6B in a normal pencil. So I will be making it slightly darker as we get on, and I'll probably use my smudgy blendy thing because I want it to feel a little bit smoother. This is quite textured, and I could even use my eraser for highlights. Emblem on the car there, and the radiator cap. Yes, so if you are local to here and you are planning on driving on the A361 for the next month, it's going to be quite tricky. It's been tricky for the last 3 months, but it's going to continue being tricky because they're putting a pedestrian crossing. Now, it's one of the animals. I can't remember if it's a pelican. It's not a zebra. No, it's a puffin crossing. It's a puffin crossing that we're getting. And I can never remember what the difference is between them all. But it could result in me having to pay the neighbours' kids a couple of pounds a week so they can press the crossing so I can get out of my junction. But I'm prepared to do that. smudge with my finger, so I want that to be a little bit lighter there. Oh, this is getting nice and exciting, isn't it? No. Bottom bit of what? The boat. It's not a boat, that's why. It's a car. It'll all come into play. It's all going to be fine. You like this every week, and then you do these amazing pictures. Just think about things like a picture of a car. Things. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Well, you're already done, aren't you? Okay. Lovely. I look forward to seeing it, Chris. It better not be better than mine. Yes, you have, yeah. So I can take your name out the window. That's alright. See you later. Bye. I haven't got my eraser. There's my battery eraser. I'll get that ready. Yeah. I haven't coloured it in. I'm going to go darker with that. I'm going to go with I'm probably going to go straight with an 8 or 9B for the inside of the window. Obviously this side, this window is going to be lighter. Oh, I need to check the shop. That's fine. Little thin line where the light is hitting the steering wheel. And then I'm going to go darker. I'm going to do lots of dark bits really. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to there's another dark bit there. I need to smudge that there. Darken the grille. The cafe's been fairly busy since that's reopened, so that's nice for Kathy. It's always a bit nerve-wracking. And tattoo studio's been quite busy as well, so well, yeah, this is it. The local things are really good. I'm sad that Buzzy's has closed now. the vintage shop. That's quite sad. But I've heard it's already being let, or will be in the next month or so. So it's nice that it's being used, and shops aren't taking too long to be refilled. I'm not going to say what I've heard it is, because that's not fair if it isn't, and I don't do gossip in that sense. So you'll have to wait and see. Oh, I've just slipped with my flipping pencil. Oh gosh, I've got a customer. I'll be back in a minute. I'll give you time to catch up as well. That's good. What don't you see very many of those around here, Sue? These cars. I have got to nip back down again in a minute because of another customer. But I am going to go with the 9B and darken the trees on that side, but I'm keeping the texture. Well, it's still only 3:45. That's good. Okay, so while you're doing that, I'm going to nip down. It's right. I've got somebody in to look at the roofing leak, the leaking roof again. So I've got to quickly show them what that is. Well, obviously, hopefully they know what a roof is, because otherwise, if they don't, then I don't think we'll hire them. Yeah, exactly. Right, I'll be back in a minute. Super speedy. Right, now I'm going to do the fight. Oh, I've run out. I have to sharpen my 9B, I think. I want to put me... I need a defining edge on these trees. But I want to keep it textured. But equally, I want the shadows in. Not the band. Oh, yeah. Lovely. Excellent. Thank you, Nick. Tomorrow. Yeah, lovely. See you tomorrow. Thanks, Nick. Bye-bye. Bye. So we've got a shadow going across here. And across here. Yeah. But I'm a bit behind on my own live feed, actually. I've only just started putting these shadows in on the bottom of the trees. Have you got a refresh? I'm actually... And then there's a bit of shadow under the wheel there. And then that's all solid. And I might just lift out a few highlights with some of these trees. Because I want just a few little highlight things on the car. Just so it feels... It's another chance for you to get the eraser, the battery eraser out, D, isn't it? Maybe a little bit of smudgy stick on the shadow just to soften it a little. Oh. Maybe a little bit of erased highlights. If you want to stick fairies in your trees again, do you go for it. don't think I'm actually going to do any more to that. I've just erased the highlight on the metal, that's all. So, because it was a very flat colour, so the light's hitting it from the right hand side. So I've just literally just done a couple of dots because I'd done it all too dark. But that said, I think my highlight lines are a little bit too wide. So I'm going to thin it down a little bit. So it's amazing how a couple of box shapes like a Mondrian can suddenly turn into a Mondrian painting, where it's all of the, you know, the black lines to create rectangles and then lots of primary colours inside it. Yeah. 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 Mondrian, he was an artist who did very rectilinear work. It does, the art history courses I do, it does make you look at things in a different light and appreciate things in a new way. No, not really. You just know what you like. It's okay to have preferences. Oh, I'm glad you've loved that, Liz. I hope everybody else has. It's very it's quite simplistic, isn't it? But the construction is different. So obviously it's going to be a very different feel in the next drawing class. And if you wanted, tomorrow is Art for the Anxious and it's charcoal hands. So that does move into the realms of drawing. So if any of you wanted to, you can book your spot and request to join that group for next week, for tomorrow only if you want. That's fine. Or wait until you see when I post up the finished pictures every week and then decide to join it retrospectively. That's fine. So yeah, 10 no yeah it is, yeah, 10 till 12ish. Might finish a bit earlier. Okay, because it's your kind of thing, isn't it, with the hands? Yes, I know what you mean. Right, so I'm going to call it. Well, yeah, I mean, this is it today. You can see that having the contrast between the dark and of the car, the dark has really helped the light areas pop forward, and the shadows have given structure to the planes of land and the layers. So it's worked really nicely today. When I saw this picture, I want to do it as a painting at some point. Thank you, Sue. I hope so too. We're in the quotes stage of it at the moment. I just want one that's waterproof. That's all I care about. So I'm going to love and leave you all now, and I'll probably see some of you at any of the other classes soon. So I hope you've enjoyed yourselves today. Thank you for your company. It's always wonderful to have you with me. So thank you very, very much, and I will see you all soon. Take care. Bye bye, everyone. Bye bye.